Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a special Sunday morning edition of What's Up Wrestling. We are live coming to you. I'm in LA. You're on the East Coast. I'm with Ruiz, my co-host of this show. And What's Up Wrestling? This is our 18th episode. So if you haven't seen the other ones, you should go down to the Michael Fairman channel below and watch them. But we are here to talk about Survivor Series War Games 2023. That was last night, premium live event streaming on Peacock. There's so much to unpack, but we need to start with the fact that, as you can see, I'm now wearing my CM Punk shirt once again. Now, granted, this is the AEW version. They quickly got up a WWE version last night that you can buy right now.
Yeah.
But Luis and I are here to talk about, I guess we need to start with Punk and work our way backward. But I want to say, Luis and I, we tracked if CM Punk was going to come back to the WWE. We had many conversations, many texts, and we were going to go to Chicago. But then we were like, this is not happening. This is
Yeah.
not happening. So we are the biggest doofuses, and we self-admit it, but we wish we were there. Luis, so I first want to get your take on this because I knew at the end of War Games, and we have to get into Randy Orton coming back. Let's not minimize Randy returning. But we are literally there's 10 minutes left on the PLE. I can see it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, there's nothing happening here. So something's gonna happen. And then my mouth dropped when Punk actually came out, and I have never heard the crowd went absolutely insane for their hometown boy, Punk. And my mouth dropped, and we texted each other, and other people texted me, and I don't think anybody at this point thought he was really coming.
No, I seriously think I mean obviously we ended up hearing that it was a genuine last minute decision that it really was like the hour of that they finalized it. But like I missed returns that literally no one knew. Not even the reporters knew. They didn't have no idea. So like once I saw the logo come up, I was like, all right, that's it. I was like, they're just ending early because I knew that it was an early peer review. Like it was a quick peer review. There's only 5 matches. So I was like, all right, so logo's gonna come up, and that's it. And then I hear the record
Wait,
scratch,
who are you saying? Logan?
the logo, like the logo on the
Oh,
bottom.
logo. I thought you were saying Logan. Okay, the logo.
Yeah, so
Right.
the logo
The
came up. So I was like,
trademark
all right,
logo
so
comes up.
yeah, I was like, all right, that's it. I started getting up to leave because I was at my uncle's house. My little brother was there and all that stuff. And then he comes out, and we all literally freaked out. I was like, oh my god, I thought it was a joke. And for like, I knew they weren't gonna do it, but for a split second, I was so in denial that I was like, "Oh, Grayson Waller's gonna walk out or something and do something stupid."
Well, I was in denial thinking until we heard from the press conference and heard Triple H, I was in denial that this was other than a one-time.
A one-off just to
Like,
shock.
I'm here, clap for me. Like, I actually imagine that could be it. I was also
Yeah.
hearing reports that could be it. Maybe they'll give him a lot of money. He'll show up. He's in Chicago. See you later.
Me and my uncle said when we were talking about it, and we were saying like he thought the same thing. He was like, "I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they call him the day of and like, hey, $500,000, just come, show up, show your face, and then maybe we can figure out something after." Like that. That's kind of what I thought it was gonna be. And then now they're saying supposedly he's on a multi-year contract, which
Now
is
he's got a 3-year deal. I heard it's a
yeah,
3-year deal. Um, okay. This was insane. This was insane. When he came out, I've never heard. I mean, you were saying the pop was so loud for Randy.
no, that pop was louder than I've ever expected
I've
for
ever
Randy.
heard.
Also, yeah, like that was
I mean,
insane.
that was like the before Punk. I was like, oh, that was the loudest thing. Are you typing?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my it up on my computer.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
Um,
can look normal.
so we're texting back and forth, everybody, and we're like, is this real? Are we so stupid? I can't believe we're not there. I can't believe it. And then I'm like, how did they pull this off? How did they pull this off? So my understanding and takeaway from the post media scrum, from the reports, are Triple H is saying he and Nick Khan, it just came together all of a sudden, literally, I'm assuming in the last 48 hours. And nobody knew.
Not
and
even, I don't even think even that.
I don't know. Right. And the way they had it backstage, I don't think people saw him come in, from what I understand. They protected it.
They said he walked through the back in plain sight, but they literally created like a little area where no one will see him.
It was reminding me like of the hostage thing. Did you see how they, when they were having the hostages come off the plane in Israel, they had everything cordoned off and blocked off. And I'm wondering if they just like blocked off
like two areas.
Two areas so you can't see on either side for him. And that left me also wondering, do you think the wrestlers knew? And we'll get into Seth Rollins in a minute.
I heard that they told the wrestlers in the ring and the referees and all them like 5 minutes before they went out for their match. That's what I heard. I heard that they knew, but it was like very last minute. Like literally like they had no choice. It was just right before they walk out. Hey, by the way, he's going to be there.
And on that note, I wonder if you're a company with the company and you're any of those guys, I can't imagine they were happy, like not like being told 2 minutes before, or I don't know, like especially some of them had relationships with him in the past.
Yeah. I think that it's just crazy because I know that like even the picture of that Triple H posted with him and Punk together, like he put Cold Day in Hell. Like it's just crazy that it's even like I can't even believe that we're talking about it. Because I thought as much as we talked about it and he got fired and all this stuff, he has to come. We kept saying, like, as all the reports kept coming out, and I was like, but if they're gonna do it, it has to be there.
If they're gonna do it, it has to be Chicago. And I was like, it doesn't seem like it's happening.
No,
it really didn't seem like it's happening. So it's hard. But then there's this T-shirt all of a sudden. But you're saying they could.
I think they can work quick with that stuff, and I personally think that. I think that obviously there was discussions. My take on that is I think there were discussions, and I think if they thought there was any chance that he was there, they must have had that shirt planned just in case he was there. You know what I mean? Like they probably made it like a month before, and we're like, all right, let's just save it if he ever comes back again.
I am shocked. And then the words of Cody Rhodes in the post-media scrum too were interesting when they asked him, what do you feel about this? And he's like, as long as he can bring value to the company. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what he really feels. But there is this social media TikTok moment and on Twitter and on X and on Instagram of Seth Rollins having a shit fit. Literally having a cow.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel that's a work or do you feel that's legit? I first thought it was a work, but now I'm not sure. What is your thought?
I really don't know. I don't think, because the way I think of it is like I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. I think that there's a chance that this could be possibly the greatest rivalry like ever if they can pull it off. Because if it is a work, they're doing great with it. Because we all know Rollins really does not like him. Like even if that part was a work, he really doesn't like him. I know that. Like we all know that. But
so we could see what I could see here, and I even go so far as from what Triple H had said, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. I don't believe they have a story plan. I think they just signed him, and I don't think they've gotten that far as what the fuck we're going to do. Excuse me, what they're going to do with him.
Yeah,
I can't believe
I agree.
What they're going to do with him. But it makes sense. I could see Punk, if they build it up right, doing a run to go against Seth for Seth's championship.
I think that has to be it. It really does.
I can't see him being the universal champ with him being his old. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely think he's gonna. I think he's gonna be like he's opening up Raw, which is gonna be. It might be the most watched Raw.
Monday Night Raw is gonna be the most watched. I mean, I am literally blown away. Like my head is exploding from the entire last 15 minutes, and also Randy Orton, which we'll get into in a minute. But I can't believe this happened. I literally thought it was dead in the water. But it shows you you can like cause carnage somewhere else. And I mean, Triple H said in an interview prior to War Games that he wants to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they're listening to. And they wanted Punk.
And I heard on Twitter that like that they were most likely going to bring him back, but maybe wait till the Rumble because they weren't sure if the fans really wanted it. But like, I think the fans wanted it. I mean, it was
the only thing I could see going haywire is they were in Chicago. Do you think it'll be like it was in other cities at AEW where they were booing him?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I really
I don't either.
Oh.
And heel or babyface?
I think it has to be heel. Maybe like a Rollins type heel where it's like kind of a face, but like a mixture of both.
I'm trying to see where he would fit in. And I think they need another heel, maybe. I mean, they've got.
I think right away it's gonna be. They should do the same storyline. I don't know if Punk should win. I also think this changes everything. If he does feud with Rollins, like that whole Judgment Day storyline kind of goes out the window because no one's gonna care about that anymore. Everyone's gonna want to watch
Rollins Punk is gonna be a thing.
Rollins Punk at the Rumble is like money. That's exactly what you're gonna want it to be.
That's where I think it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So you're watching the show. Tell me what happened you're watching it with your family.
Yeah.
Who was in the room?
Huh?
Who was in the room?
It was me, my two uncles, and my little brother.
Your little brother who got dressed as Cody.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happened? Like, what happened? I wish I was there. Were you there?
Well, I was getting up to leave because once I saw the trademark, I was like, all right, like it was a good. I'm just gonna leave now. And then he came out, and I freaked out, and I was like, oh my god, whatever. My uncle didn't hear the music, and he just saw the logo pop up. He was like, what? He was like, what's going on? He was literally didn't get to finish what he was saying because he was literally saying, oh damn, I wish Punk showed up, but maybe he'll show up at some point. And then we hear the music. And then my little brother starts screaming. And then right away, because he's a little jerk, right away he's like, oh damn, don't you wish you were there? I was like, Christian, stop.
Oh, Christian.
He kept saying, and then I kept saying like, oh my god, because I was still like processing what was happening. And he was like, oh, you regret your decision, don't you?
And I'm texting you, we're such idiots.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
I literally talked us out of it.
I just think that there was nothing we could do about it. It was just like.
I know.
Yeah.
But I remember you saying to me, I really want to be there if Punk comes. I was
yeah.
Like, I just shoot myself. Didn't they go off the air with the trade? I mean, I'm sorry, not off there. Didn't they end with the trademark and then he came out?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
That was what was so brilliant about it. They made it like we're really.
Did you see that I'm sure people saw, but they called, so no one knew, like not even the production company knew. Nobody knew except for him and Tony Khan. And
no, not Tony Khan, Nick Khan.
Nick Khan. So yeah, not Tony Khan didn't know.
Tony Khan must be horrified.
I was saying, have you seen the movie Dodgeball? It was like it's a old comedy movie with like Vince Vaughn and all those guys. It's like the funny guys. It's pretty funny. And it ends the last scene of the movie is like the guy that was bad in the movie is like all fat and like eating donuts and like starts throwing stuff at the TV because the people that he lost to are like really popular. And I said that's Tony Khan right now throwing stuff at the TV.
You know, it was really funny. So after all this had happened, I went, oh wait, I think Collision on the West Coast is
great.
Airing. So I literally turned it on after everything we witnessed, and I'm like, is Eddie Kingston gonna? I'm like, wait, so this is what I'm watching?
Do I care about this?
Like, do I care about this? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, they've literally Well, they got Punk and Jade now, so and Cody.
No, like I honestly we were saying it yesterday, and I didn't realize it until like because these matches where you have all these people, you really realize how many stars you have, and not even just Judgment Day, who have stars of their own. Who I love Judgment Day. I thought they were great. They're awesome, bro. Like that face team with Orton is insane. Like they have so much star power on that roster. I personally think this is the most stacked roster they've ever had.
100%. I want to back you up on that because as somebody who's older than you and have seen it more years of it, I think this is the most stacked, powerful, exciting roster they've ever had. I really mean that. If they play that right. Are you coming back in?
Yeah, you can click that one.
Okay. All right, Louise is coming back in. I like you said, I thought it was the most. Oh,
there. Okay. No, and I seriously was looking at it. I was like, the fact that Sami Zayn is like the least popular one here, and he's still like insanely popular. I guess transitioning into Orton, he looked enormous. He was like, that's the best shape he's been in, I think, in his career. I don't know what he's taking. We were joking around. I was like, back surgery. I'm sure they were like, here, take some of these supplements to speed up your.
I have to chime in here and say this to you and to people. So I've had 3 spinal fusions. I've had 3 back surgeries. I've had my lumbar spine fused. Yeah. I've had to recover from that. It is a bitch.
Yeah.
It is really bad. And yes, he had to be taking shit. There was the only way probably to get back into this to do anything. It's an excruciating recovery. Was he out 18 months?
Almost 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, almost years.
Because
it was like 500 days.
Right. So when I had my lumbar fusion, I had a double lumbar fusion in my lower back, and it took me 2 years to recover from it.
Yeah, and people thought
I was like, people don't know, and I was like very worried for Randy. I swear to you, because I've had it. Now I don't know exactly what levels were fused or.
Yeah, and it was double, so it was
a double. I had a double.
Yeah, so it was a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a very horrible surgery to come back from, especially if you're an athlete.
Yeah.
For me, I was working out all the time, and I got hurt, and then had the fusion, and it was really hard to get back. So I was like,
and especially doing a move like the RKO. I'm sure they literally said that's part of why he got landing on your back for that. Over and over again.
I did feel that spot that really didn't land. I mean, he didn't really get him in the RKO. It kind of like
it looked insane because
it looked insane. But when you look at it in slow motion, it's like he didn't really have his head.
Yeah.
But even so, it is such an accomplishment to even get back in the ring, which is why I was so touched by Cody, who really understood that and talked about it in the post-media press conference about looking at Randy, and wanting to make sure he was okay and watching him move around. It's got to be nerve-wracking to come back from a spinal fusion, and now you're going to go
into a match like this
where you could literally get hurt.
Yeah, right away. Yeah,
after you spent.
Because I'm sure, I'm obviously I'm not a professional athlete, but I've played sports, and something as simple as you're recovering from an injury, you feel good again, through practice, and then your first play in a real game, it hurts again. That's literally it. Could have been he probably could have felt great during rehab and performance center and all that stuff, but once he hits maybe that first RKO, he could have been like, oh crap, that hurt really bad.
And I am stunned that he decided to come back, but that is the issue with wrestlers. They never know when to stop. They love it.
Yeah, they have a fix. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You could be run over by a train, and you're probably.
And for example, that's why. First of all, Punk also looked in great shape. I think one of the best. I think better shape than he's been in.
Punk looked like
he was enormous.
He looked.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
And he actually looked healthy. His face looked healthy. He looked normal. You know what I mean? Those last few months, he had a full gray beard. It looked crazy.
He looked haggard and crazy and
like an old man. Yeah.
I think I don't know. See, that makes me think that a lot of this was secretly in the
I
works.
think not even in the works. I just think that because we were talking about, then we sat there like debating like what was like why everything went down at AEW the way it did and all that stuff, and why I personally think it will work out in WWE compared to AEW. And I just say that like I think when Punk got there, even in the beginning, I think when Punk got to AEW, I think low key he was like, "Why am I here?" I think he felt that it wasn't as big as what he wanted his return to be, and I always said him going to AEW, if he was ever going to go back to WWE, was going to not be as good because he already came back to wrestling. But I don't agree. I think yesterday, I think everyone's like, all right, this is the first time he's been here in 10 years, and we're freaking out.
Right. I think it's forgive and forget. And
I
they're
just
like,
don't even. It's insane to think about him standing in that arena yesterday. Not even after all the stuff that happened, because everyone knows what happened, like in WWE before this. But like the fact that all he did in AEW was trash WWE. That's all he did. That was his character. And to think that now he's back, I mean, he's obviously gonna bring. I don't know how you could bring it up and not be a hypocrite on Raw, but
can you tell everybody what did happen in 2014 when he left? What was the falling out for those that don't know? Do you, it was with,
I mean, I know the main one was that with the doctor that they had he had literally a law. You can't sue a doctor and then
the
go
doctor.
back and then go back there. They also, for his whole career, he already felt like he wasn't given the spotlight. And then they finally put.
He had a falling out with Triple H somehow too.
Then they finally pushed, yeah, because I think Triple H was always the guy to say like, no, he's not big enough for this. Like he can't. He always said no. Like Triple H, as much as we love Triple H, he's the same guy who didn't want to take the pin for Jeff Hardy because he was mad that he was losing. So you know what I mean. So Triple H was like that.
I mean, you got to realize all of this. Like, think of
Yeah.
this stuff that does. So it just shows you.
And he said last night, I'm a different person than 10 years ago. Punk's a different person than 10 years ago. It's a different Punk company than 10 years ago. He goes, if you're the same person from 10 years ago, you're doing something wrong. So
Well, do we know that? Because in AEW, he was literally beating up Jack Perry, and in the
that's
gorilla,
why I think that I think that
Tony Khan and whatever Tony Khan says.
I think that he feared for his life. He feared for his life.
Those of his employees.
See, I genuinely think that whole thing was because Punk was like, I need to do something to get fired. I literally think that's what it was because Punk couldn't get out of his contract. So I think he literally said like, I need to do something to get fired, and that's what it was. And I know that Triple H wanted it. Like he's a businessman. We were joking around. You think Vince knew at all? You think? I know he's not involved anymore, but you think they told Vince like, hey, he's coming out tonight?
They picked up the phone the day before.
Just said, Punk's here. Hang up.
Here backstage. We signed him. Goodbye.
They didn't even let him say anything.
Like we did this. Goodbye. He's showing
we
up.
Also, my uncle brought up because he's into like stocks and all that stuff. They were like, how can you're a public company now? They're like, imagine telling these people that own this whatever, hey, we got a guy that can make you guys billions of dollars, but we're not going to sign him. They're going to be like, yo, get this guy on the roster like that. They're
right.
They're
I mean, there's that. I guess the only thing that is concerning is will Triple H, I guess you could say, will Triple H end up eating his words if Punk has not evolved? And for some reason, even what went through AEW, he still has.
Me personally, I just don't think I said not even. I don't think it's going to happen. And let's say it does. I think that when it first happened in AEW wasn't big enough to recover quickly. So like I felt because I was watching AEW every week because of Punk. And I continued to watch when that first thing happened with the LA thing. And AEW struggled for a couple months because he was it was rough for them. If this godforsaken happens in WWE, it won't even feel like it happened. You know what I mean? There's so many guys there. It's gonna be like, all right, get them out. You know what I mean? I think that's why they brought him there because WWE can handle it. They can be okay with it.
You have a good point. There's so many people they could pivot to if it goes.
Yeah, it's not that big. I really don't think it would be that big of a deal. And I think what I was saying, my point was, I think Punk was like, why am I here? And I think part of him being back there, even though I know some people don't like him, I think he knows that there's other guys just as good as him, just as big as him. I think he went to AEW was like, these guys aren't on my level. Like what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And At the end of the day, I personally think that if that Rollins thing is a work or isn't, they're gonna figure out a way to make that feud, and it's gonna make a lot of money. It's going to make a ton of money, and I think that that's gonna be the feud at Royal Rumble. I'm so excited to watch Raw. Like I sometimes I watch Raw like late, or I'll watch it the next day. Like I'm watching at 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday.
So
Like
this is me on Raw. Because most of the time I have to watch an hour of filler of like two women wrestlers that are never on, or like these tag teams, you know. But I did tune in Monday to see Drew McIntyre's thing, which really didn't
which
amount
we
to
also
much.
haven't
But let's go into that. Hold
talked
on.
about.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I do know that is a work. Well, if you wanted to know, it is a work, like 100% work. So I wonder what they're gonna do with that. Maybe that's his first feud. I don't know what they're gonna do there, or he's just mad
Is he
because
mad because they lost?
it ended up being he stormed out before Punk even came out,
Correct.
so it has nothing to do with Punk.
Nothing.
I think it's something to do with Judgment Day.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right. And then I heard, and then of course the report is he left the arena, which I
yeah.
sent.
It was like Sean reported that it was a work. So he said he genuinely doesn't know if the Rollins one was, because there was reports that Rollins had to be held back in the backstage area. And supposedly they said Punk was confused by it. But I mean,
It was a really interesting
in today's day and age, like I think that could still be a work. Like WWE's not dumb. Like they've done stuff like that. Like I think that they
100%.
do all this because they know. I think they say all this and do all this actually backstage because there's probably cameras around and they don't want something to get leaked where it's like, oh, we saw Punk and Rollins shaking hands backstage. You know what I mean? So I think Rollins at the end of the day is a businessman. I really do think he's all right with it.
And what is the deal with Drew?
I just think that
I kind of feel he's still nowhere.
I think he gets screwed over because he is really good in the ring and people want to see him as a heel, but maybe not like join Judgment Day fully. I just think he's kind of up in the air. Like I personally think he should still be the one to beat Gunther. So I mean, I don't know how you do that, but I guess we'll see on Raw. But
Right. Monday Night Raw.
And then my other point that I brought up that we were talking about my uncle was like Orton first night back in 2 years comes out, gets a crazy pop, looks great in the ring. We're all excited. Punk comes out, overshadows it. Do you think they were like, hey, listen, like, are you okay with Punk coming out if he does come out? Me personally,
I don't know, because I just want to say that I had so many people on my social media when I posted my story on Punk returning, wrote me back and said, yeah, what about Randy? This really screwed Randy.
our thing on it was like the way Randy is and the way Randy's talked about the business and the way and how much he's been there. Me personally, I think he was like, I don't care. I honestly think that he was like, how much are you paying me for the night? All right, bring him out.
I don't think he cared. I do think the one thing from a press perspective,
yeah,
is, you glom onto the bigger, if you're trying to make money and you're writing an article and you're the New York Post, aren't you going to write CM Punk returned?
Yeah.
Instead of Randy Orton?
CM Punk returns and Randy Orton.
Randy Orton returned. Right. I don't think that's a great feeling for somebody who's gone through a double fusion, 2 years to get back.
Yeah.
Is a big thing. And I also, if to go along that, it could have been like you said, this was literally flipped on them right before they went to the ring and he didn't know.
The only good thing is that I did see another video from the fans' perspective of Orton. He was doing this to Punk, doing the time bomb thing, and then he waved to him. So I think he's cool with him. I'm sure he didn't care. He was sitting on a chair in the ring doing this, smiling at him. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then Punk waved back at him. And then
Punk also did this thing to Seth.
Yeah, that's what got him all riled up.
Yeah.
I think it's a work. I really do. I think it's one of those works.
I believe it's a work.
I think
they told Seth. Seth had to know.
I think it's a work based off real feelings. And I think only in WWE are they going to be able to pull that off. Because like we saw in AEW, they had a rivalry with real feelings, and then they got personal, and they hated each other. Like WWE's, at the end of the day, I think WWE is very ballsy for this move. They could have easily just said, "Let's just not do it." It will blow over, and people will forget about it.
I thought this was the ballsiest thing they've ever done ever because
They said it's bigger. They said it's bigger than when Brett came back,
it feels like it.
just because of the other company and all that
I
stuff.
think because of the other company and how he left.
Yeah.
Now, Brett, the screw job on Brett was still the most horrible thing.
At the end of the day, it was still just a company thing. It wasn't like him fighting somebody in another company twice and now he's back. You know what I mean? It was.
I'm sure Tony Khan is going to be somebody's going to ask him on a podcast. He's going to be answering this question.
I was surprised he didn't already tweet.
I am too.
Because he would.
I would think he'd be like, I wish CM Punk the best in like some.
I just can't believe. I really like. I've watched you saw that they, as of right now, I saw it an hour ago. The video of Punk returning on WWE's Twitter page has 32 million views in one day. That's why you sign him. That's exactly why.
And you made bigger than wrestling. I was explaining at 4 a.m. to my sister. We were talking this morning. She doesn't know. I said, wait, so I explained to her about CM Punk. I explained that he's not just a wrestler. He's like a pop culture.
Yeah.
He's part of pop culture. So that's why, just like they got Logan Paul.
Yeah. Who needs to start showing up to work?
What?
I said, who needs to start showing up to work? Yeah.
Logan Paul. You've got these guys. I mean, they are so smart. This brand is just through the roof. I don't see how AEW. I don't know what they could do.
And like I said, we were talking like in the house, I was like, my uncle said that my uncle was like a huge Punk fan because he said that's what brought him back to wrestling. He wasn't into wrestling as much. And then when Punk started getting brought up, he fell in love with it again. And a lot of people have said that like people cry watching CM Punk, but it's because he was the guy that like got people back into wrestling and whatever. And I was saying it was super cool to see my little brother. My little brother's 8. He's never seen Punk in WWE. He wasn't alive. And the fact that he's going to be able to see him now.
Is he excited? Does he want to see?
No, he knows because my little brother is very advanced when it comes to like watching old stuff. Like he knows more than I do, like before I was his age. So he knows everything that happened. He knows everything about AEW, what happened. And he was like freaking out. And he was like, I literally said, I was like, this is going to be his first time watching Punk. He's never seen Punk in WWE ever. So
just hope that he doesn't wrestle around like an old man and he can actually move.
I think they're going to do matches where he's going to, I have a feeling he's going to be very part-time. Not like where he's not going to be on TV, but he's not going to be wrestling on Raw and SmackDown and maybe a Raw once in a while. But to think that like I was laughing. I was like,
what would you do with Randy Orton too? Is he back?
I think he's back. I'm sure. I heard he's going to be on Raw.
So what do you do with him then?
They have so many people now. It's like insane. I don't even know. Like, I personally think that Orton is going to be Cody's feud. I think that he's going to turn on Cody, and that's going to be their feud because they never got to do it yet.
I think you're right. I think that would be awesome. It's got to be.
That's going to take them. That's going to take them.
That'll take us till we get to Cody and WrestleMania.
Almost Mania. Right. Yeah. And I was saying that the fact that it's 2023 and I'm staring in the ring, I'm staring at CM Punk, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes. And then just 2 months ago, John Cena and The Rock were in WWE. I was like, I can't even. And then my uncle made a joke. He was like, "You think Edge is like, oh crap? You think Edge is like, oh crap? Why did I what did I do?"
Probably.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they would do with Edge either.
Yeah. But it's just like with this happening, we said it. Not that it's killing AEW, but like with Punk here, I don't know. I think AEW is screwed.
When they had Punk on after the whole mess and the post-media scrum where he went ballistic, and then they gave him Collision, which is going to be Punk's show. He was being such a company guy, really saying, I'm really glad to be here. I'm going to work with the young guys. We're going to make the show great.
Yeah.
And, he was really, so I don't know if that's what he really felt.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
That was just like, you're going to say this.
Yeah.
or because that was supposed to be his show.
And I really don't know what they're gonna do. What I did see, because now everyone moves on to the bigger picture, and they're like, all right, AJ Lee, get her back in wrestling like immediately. Because I heard like for a while she wanted to come back, but she was not going to because of the whole Punk situation. That's her husband.
Unless
So
they bring her back as like a valet, but not a valet,
women's
but like with.
women's women's rumble entrant. She could do a couple moves and what we were saying, and like what the guy Sean Ross tweeted, he's like, best case scenario, because I'm sure she doesn't want to come back and be a wrestler, but have her come out, Royal Rumble, do a couple moves, last a little bit, and then induct her into the Hall of Fame. Like that's exactly what it should be. You know what I mean? He was saying that's exactly what they should do with
That's
her.
actually a great idea.
Yeah, because now like everyone always said like no way Punk's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, and he came back, and now he probably will be. Like it's I can't believe I really it's like it's bigger than wrestling. It really is, and like
It really is. It's such a
I don't know if
big.
you saw his Instagram. I don't know if you saw his Instagram. Like MLB's main Instagram posted Punk welcome back. Like they don't post anyone else.
Anybody else? What did you think about that picture of Triple H and him?
No, I loved it. I was
That
like,
was
oh my
great.
god. Like Triple H, when I saw it, I was like, wow, Triple H does not give a crap about like he does not care. Like he does
Triple
not.
H is running the show. Okay.
And that's why
you have to understand, when I was years ago, when I
yeah.
was he was a wrestler. He was not, but I knew from that moment when I saw him behind the scenes that he was going to work his way in to the company, to the family, and he was going to become what he is today. I think he knew that 25 years ago.
And we were saying, and like on that note, we were saying like we were talking about guys who get the business and get it. And we were saying how Seth gets it. Like Seth gets like his character, he knows how to work the crowd. Like, he gets the business more than a lot of other people's do. Like Roman Reigns gets the business now. It took him a while, but he gets it. And then we're in the ring, whatever we're looking at, and then when all that happened, I was like, who gets the business? Like Triple H gets it.
Okay,
Like
I have a question. Paul Heyman and CM Punk. What if they
really
put
funny.
them back together and it causes jealousy between Roman
It's
and
really funny that you said that because my uncle was like, we're watching in the press conference, and he's like, you know what? He goes, if I'm them, he goes, give him Paul Heyman right away. I don't care what happens. And part of that is because he said that you give him Paul Heyman, he has someone backstage that keeps him in check, won't let him get out of be crazy. I'm sure they'll travel together. You know what I mean? It's like that too, where it's like calm him down.
I think if they did that, it's clearly going to be Punk's bad, a heel. I think it would cause trouble between,
because they have said they want Roman to start transitioning into a face again. They have said that. I just think that I don't know. Does Punk win the Rumble?
Something's going to happen. And what about
does he win the Rumble?
We do with Randy?
They have such good problems right now. They really
and now
do.
What happens to LA Knight?
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. I was
now I'm feeling like
me and my friends were texting, and my couple of other friends, and I was saying like, there's gonna be a couple guys that eat this in a bad way, and Knight is one of them because I think the crowd is gonna forget like this. You know what I mean? Not quick, but they're gonna be like, all right, we want Punk against Rollins, not LA Knight. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I think it's gonna guys like that. Like guys like that are gonna.
Right. And the only thing so back in the day, the problem was everybody was fighting for the top spot. There was this glass ceiling, and you had these guys like Rock, Stone Cold,
Triple H,
Triple H at this level, everybody else is down, and you were fighting
to get there
to get your spot. They're claiming that isn't been like that now. It's so great backstage. I can't imagine if you've got all of these people.
I don't like. I agree.
I hope everybody's cool.
I agree, but I really do like. I don't know, like the way they talk about it, and the way all the wrestlers talk about it. They're like, we just want WWE. I think AEW being around is the reason they're okay with having as many guys on their roster as possible because I think they just want. I think all the WWE guys like burying AEW. I truthfully, because the way they talk about it,
I believe that Vince's mandate would be like what he did at WCW, bury them.
And I think that's what stuck around with Vince not being around is that being like we're the best and no one else is going to compete with us. But Vince being gone has, I think, brought everyone together, and now Punk is back. I seriously think that Vince is there, that this never happens. Punk never shows up. No way.
Okay, we got some. Miguel asked, do you think Randy going after Roman and Punk going after Seth for title changes, or is there a better chance for there to be a triple threat for the heavyweight belt? Luis, what do you think? This is from Miguel.
So what was it for Punk going after who?
So Miguel, this is the question.
Yeah.
Do you think Randy going after Roman,
which is what I think is going to happen,
and Punk going after Seth for title changes? Like, should it be Randy Roman, Punk Seth, or is it better chance for there to be a triple threat for the heavyweight belt? Now, I'm not sure if we mean.
I think he means. So he means
Roman.
I think he means for Seth.
Oh my God! Can you imagine Randy
Punk?
Seth. Insane.
That's what I do think that's what I'm sure you probably agree. Like, it's gonna be, because they're gonna continue the storyline with Orton and Roman. He's gonna be on SmackDown. Orton, I can almost guarantee that.
Okay, wait, we don't know that yet, right? Has that been
but like I do think what I think is gonna happen. I think that they're gonna, because they have these brands now. I think they're gonna be like, all right, we get Punk, you get Randy. I think that's how it's gonna be.
But I'm a little confused why you would give Punk on Raw. I feel Punk
SmackDown. What my uncle was saying is that they're not gonna want to censor Punk. They're gonna want him to be as much as possible. And on Raw, that's what they're gonna do. And on SmackDown, they already teased the little thing with Jey. He's gonna want to go after Roman again. That honestly might be who Roman faces at Rumble. Probably Randy. Yeah, which is better than LA Knight. Sorry, but it makes sense. Like, I think that probably I think that has to be it. But do you have argument is you have what?
You're saying you want the triple? You're saying it would be the triple threat?
No, I'm saying I think that they're gonna put Randy on SmackDown, and it's gonna be Randy and Roman against, and then it's gonna be Seth and
Punk.
But do you wait and do you have CM Punk win the Rumble, or you know what I mean, and then go against Seth? Is he automatically the favorite for the Rumble? CM Punk, is he automatically? Yeah,
maybe. But I still feel there's got to be, if they really want to do something great, there's got to be one more surprise. Like, you keep bringing somebody else back. Like,
how insane! Number 30 entered, and you hear MJF's music hit. You think? Listen,
I know. By the way, when I was texting you, I was thinking, like, I bet MJF is watching this going, shoot.
You think if there's any chance he's not re-signed after yesterday, he's like, let me take a little bit longer to think about it.
I would think if he didn't already sign,
he's not dumb. He's not an idiot. He's not dumb.
He's beyond smart. And you want to know what else, guys? This is a side note. You're gonna love this. To tell you how I really effed all this up. So I wanted to go to Chicago and meet up with Luis.
Yeah.
We discussed not going because there's no way Punk's gonna show up.
No way Punk's gonna show up, and we weren't gonna get any access for this.
We're gonna get no access to anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, tonight in LA, wait for this. There is a Q&A special screening of the Iron Claw at 6:30 tonight. As part of the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, I put in I would like to, because it was to certain people. Yeah. I RSVP. I'm so excited. I'm going to go. I'm going to report on all this.
Yeah.
I get an email confirming it. I get an email the other day. We're so sorry. We made a mistake. You're not confirmed. You're on the waiting list. I was going to go.
Yeah.
I can't get in. So the whole.
So we should have went. What you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool. I wish I was there in that arena. But
we probably would have been trounced on. I mean, those people went.
I probably would have knocked you over. I think if I was next to you, I would have started freaking out.
I would have been on the floor. I would.
Right after surgery.
I would after my surgery, I've been trampled on. It was insane. Let's talk about the Survivor Series. What happened? I want to say, to me, by far, the women's match at the opener was the best match of the night. I
I
just thought
agree. It was great.
they slayed it, killed
They
it.
they have an insane women's roster, and I actually enjoy watching like the women's wrestling. It's like really good, and
At this level, like these,
yeah,
I couldn't believe how great is Becky Lynch? How
I
great is
yeah.
Charlotte? Like, I hate to say it.
I always say
Like,
I was saying
Charlotte's
it yesterday. Like
amazing.
I know people talk crap, but like I think Charlotte's like the best. I really do. She's the best women's
The
wrestler of all time.
moonsault off the cage.
Yeah, she kicked the crap out of one of the girls' heads. I
There's a
forgot
cap out of, and
yeah.
what did you think of Becky?
No, Becky. Listen, I like I said before, I'm like a hater on Becky because I think she's one of those. I think she's a great character. She's big. She's also like I think she's the most mainstream wrestler, women's wrestler. Like even when it comes to like being like on podcasts and stuff.
True.
But I don't think she's the greatest in the ring. I think she's very vanilla. But she does very well in these crazy matches.
She did great.
When she does like matches where it's like one on one and on Raw, it gets kind of boring. Like the people like one on one matches, I like to watch like Bianca. Like truthfully, I like to watch like.
Wait, did I just hear that? Am I hearing something wrong?
There's something in my ear. But like we always see these pictures of 5 minutes into the match, Becky was bleeding out of her face.
She was bleeding. She's always patched up.
Yeah. So and how good? I mean, Shotzi was great, and I wasn't expecting that. She put on a great performance, and then that whole. We'll just go to the end. I was not happy with the ending. How does Damage Control not win that match?
I was for sure Damage Control is going to win this.
The only reason
this is gonna split Bayley.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that look, they split Bayley out, right? Listen, they split Bayley out. They already have Charlotte and Becky hugging again. They're friends again. Bayley goes to join them, and there's only 4 horsewoman left. That's not there. If that's what they're teasing, I think that's what they're teasing. They're gonna try to get Mercedes Moné back at the Women's Rumble.
If they bring her back, this is insane. Like, that's what they need. Think
about that. Becky and Charlotte hug yesterday. They're already trying to kick out Bayley. It's them 3 together, and then they're like, "Hey, we got one more," and then she comes out. We were saying that yesterday. We are like, "Hey, what do you think about that?"
Would she go back
with Vince gone? Yeah, 100%. I think so. With Triple H there and Punk just coming out, I think she's not dumb either.
I think you are.
Why would you?
I was trying to figure out why. I was thinking because like Bayley was like the really great in that match.
No, she was like she was like the one that wrestled the whole time.
She was the one that wrestled the whole time. Yeah. And she's the one that's injured and can't move anymore. So she was like doing her thing.
Yeah.
There was nothing better than the trash can. I mean, Io Sky with the trash can. Like these moves were insane.
No, I
just think it was the best match of the night. I thought it was better, certainly better than the men's. I thought this was a better match.
No, it was a better match. It was all around a better match. The moves were cool. The way the storyline worked. I know that was why they did the ending was because they're just trying to push Bayley out, and they're like, "Oh, you're the weak link," whatever. So that's why I was okay with it.
You think she'll become a face?
I think so. Which I personally think she's not good enough to be a face.
Not good as a face.
I think since she struggles in the ring a little bit, it's better to be a heel. But I guess we'll see what happens there. And then I honestly think the next 2 matches were like 3 matches were like like I wasn't too big like
the only one
Gunther Miz was okay. It was okay.
It was okay because I actually enjoyed the Miz actually wrestling.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
and showing that he's not just a goof.
I like the Miz being a face again, and I like that his character is like, all right, I'm not a heel, but I'm still gonna cheat because it helps us win, and the crowd went crazy. You know what I mean?
I love that. I thought that was great, and I really thought he gave a great match. And I love seeing him wrestle because he can really do stuff. He's
We've
a
talked
great.
about it. Like I hate how much they use him as like a
They made him
goober.
such a doofus,
Like a goober. That's literally what he is.
goober. I'm
Yeah.
like, but then you heard Triple H in the press conference go, "He's so great. We can
Yeah.
have him come out and be this. We can have him." It's like,
Yeah.
why don't you let him like?
Why don't you do this more often? Have normal feuds.
I mean, the match was the match.
Yeah.
I didn't think at any point Gunther was going to lose.
No. I mean, when he kicked him in the balls, I was like, oh my God, for a
I thought,
second.
okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, Rhea Ripley, Zoe Stark. She was good, Zoe. I just didn't think anything was going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Rhea is just so good with the whole Judgment Day thing. Her singles matches have been kind of lackluster.
The one match I want to say this, and this is really important. Santos Escobar was amazing. Give him
That match was okay. Yeah.
that one was okay because
Yeah.
he's great. And I want to say he's a great wrestler. He's a great, you want to hate him. It's so great that he's back as a heel. They should
And
push him. They
and they
should
said that I think he's gonna get a push, especially winning clean. And I heard that the reason they switched Carlito was because they didn't want Carlito to lose his first pay-per-view match because Santos was always gonna win.
see.
So
I thought maybe Carlito was another one who's been injured and
no, they said he's okay. They just want to prolong that because they think that Carlito could be, like one of their better mid card guys. So they don't really want to like just have him job out to Santos. You know what I mean?
yeah, I thought Santos though has
Which I think is smart.
yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that. I'm not like flipping out over Dragon Lee. And
he's good in the ring. Yeah, he's
good. But I thought Escobar as this really heel, which is what he naturally is prone to be,
yeah,
feels so much better. And
yeah.
he's really
It's
great at
100%
it.
way better.
And
Yeah,
he's really good at it. And why not give him a shot and move him up? Like give him a shot at Seth.
yeah. I just don't think he's ready character wise for that. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
You
All right,
think
I just got alerts from the guys. They said as of now, CM Punk is expected to be at WWE Raw Monday, opening the show. I've heard there was a discussion of him being a free agent in quotation marks, but that is not confirmed.
wait, is this on your feed?
This is on Twitter because it popped up because it was like one that was getting a lot of traction, so it like comes up.
So we don't think he signed a 3-year contract.
PW Insider said he signed a multi-year deal. Now Fightful is saying they don't know that for sure. It's not confirmed. But and then the next thing was like the next thing he put. But if he is confirmed, WWE was making it a point within the last few years to create more cheerable baby faces to market, which because they were lacking, which they were. And it says WWE's babyface male roster includes, with many more than not included, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, LA Knight, CM Punk, Kevin Owens. That's like that is that's insane.
Is he really going to be unless he's doing like a Logan Paul and he's not there all the time?
Yeah, I think
Why would you do that? You'd want him on your TV. You'd want the ratings.
yeah, they're at Fightful put out a article talking about the backstage incident with Rollins.
What's he saying?
They're just saying they're not sure. They haven't heard anything if it's a work or not. They said he had to be restrained by security as Punk was out by the stage area.
So wait, there was more than what we saw on at the ring area.
Yeah, Rollins went to the back and had to be restrained in the backstage area. And then it says Sean Ross Sapp reported that producers, referees, staff, talent, and even head writers on the creative team who would usually be told about returns, even if it is a surprise, had no idea. Punk has signed a multi-year deal. So he has signed a multi-year deal.
And that's from
Fightful. Yeah.
So you're saying to me that after it went off the air, Seth went nuts backstage?
That's the rumor. And they have not confirmed or denied if it's a work or not. I
and
listen to this.
nobody knew.
Listen, this is my thing, and this is because I think I'm more of a hopeful thing, but I do think this is a good point. It's not like Seth. I know Seth is a big guy in their company and has carried them for a while, but he's also your top babyface in my opinion, just as big as Cody, right? And he's your champion on Raw. Me personally, I don't think they do this if there was no inclination that he'd be okay with it. There's no way. There's no way Triple H just brings him out, doesn't say a word, and was like, all right, hopefully my main champion on Raw is okay with it. You know what I mean? I feel like he had to know a little bit. It was like, all right, he'll be a little bit mad, and now we're gonna make this a feud. Like, there's no way that they would just do that and try to tarnish what they had.
So I would say then if he's going to be there on Monday night, then there's gonna be something with Seth and Punk.
Has to be. It says the report noted from Fightful as it pertains to the main event talent being upset. There are numerous talent on the roster in general upset, just as there are some very excited. CM Punk was greeted by many old friends backstage when he ended up walking through the curtain. They are very curious and excited, and there are people feeling about every emotion in the books. Talent was pulled aside before the War Games match and told that CM Punk would be returning at the conclusion of the show. So they did know. They did know before they went out.
Before they went out, everybody
Only
knew.
the talent that was going into the ring. One talent noted they were legitimately upset by the return of CM Punk.
Seth.
We do not know who that talent is.
Seth. So wait, you're saying anybody that went into the ring, you're not just talking about the men's War Games match, everybody that was wrestling?
No, just the men's War Games match knew. That's it.
Told.
We're told he just letting you know he will come out to end the show.
They're probably like freaking out. I mean, they probably were like, oh crap, he's back.
I
didn't think Cody's answer was very warm about like, oh great, I'm so glad Punk's back. It's like, what's good for business?
Yeah, I just like don't. I'm so excited to see what happens tomorrow. Like I really, and see, this is the thing. Our whole show has been like, it was a great pay-per-view, and all we want to do is talk about Punk, and this is exactly why they want him. Like, this is exactly why.
Yes,
I'm ordering the shirt. I don't care.
I'm ordering the shirt too because this is my old AEW one.
Wear it to I'm gonna wear it at Rumble.
We'll wear it at Rumble.
Yeah.
What did you think of the men's War Game match?
I loved it. I thought it was great. I hate that Judgment Day just gets like pushed to the side a lot.
I can't believe they had the faces win the women's and the men's.
I knew the faces were gonna win the men's. I already knew that.
You did?
Like, I just had a feeling they were gonna. Like, I was like, all right, this is too many people, and with Orton coming back, they're not gonna lose. The only reason I thought they were gonna lose, if Punk wasn't coming back, was because I thought Orton would literally walk out, RKO the entire babyface team, and then walk out. I thought that's what they were gonna do. Like, seriously, because I thought they were gonna have him come back as a heel, which I still think is a possibility.
I still think that's a big possibility.
Yeah. But I knew once Orton was like back, they were like, yeah, he's not gonna lose. That's why I thought the women's match would be the heels. But
the other thing is, everybody's got to. I mean, Jey Uso did screw everybody. He did screw,
which is why I think that's gonna be the main storyline is gonna be
Drew and Jey,
Orton
and Jey
being pissed off still.
At Jey.
Yeah, they're gonna do that, which I think is smart because you can't just like.
Where does that? So does that make Jey still a babyface?
I think it does because I think everyone's gonna be like whatever. I don't know if they're actually gonna end up feuding. I think they're gonna make Orton a heel.
Yeah,
just because he's such a good heel. That's why.
He's a great heel, and they've got all these other baby faces.
Did you see what Matt Riddle tweeted?
No. What did he say?
He said at WWE, you thought I was bad. Good luck with Mr. 0-2 and tagged CM Punk.
Mr. 0-2?
Basically saying he went 0 for 2 in AEW because he got kicked out twice. Yeah. He tweeted that right after.
I thought he was going to say something about Randy.
No. Yeah, that's what he put.
Do you think they're friends?
Who?
Randy and Riddle?
I don't know.
Because that went to
They already
crap.
said that when Orton came back, they weren't even gonna do that whole thing.
So what's your grade for War Games?
An A+.
Is it A plus? Yeah,
It was just so good.
it was so good. But you didn't like the other matches. But it doesn't matter because you had Randy and then Punk.
I think it just like gets forgiven.
I think the last 10 minutes is like, we have in soap operas the same kind of thing where it's like you watch the show and it's like whatever, and then there's that cliffhanger at the end, and you're like, all is forgiven. He
Yeah,
just got shot. We don't know who did it, and we go off the air. It was like
yeah.
that. Um,
WWE's Twitter upload. This is just Twitter. Oh yeah, so all of the videos collectively over all of the channels, the CM Punk's return video on the main WWE pages have 38 million views. On just Twitter, there's 16 million views in 8 hours.
insane. Have some things for you. So Miguel says I miss Sasha Banks. David said Seth Rollins versus CM Punk WrestleMania or in real life. um, David says Seth is going to lose the belt to Punk.
I think so.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know if Seth is gonna be okay with it, but I mean, the thing is that I think you also agree. I think if you're WWE, you have to make sure Seth isn't gonna freaking freak out and whatever, because you can't afford to lose him.
That's my biggest concern.
You can't afford to lose him
What
or
if
have him
Seth
like not want to be there
out?
anymore. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, Seth is more important than Punk. He really is. So you
need Seth because he can actually wrestle and move
and he's gonna be there for longer than Punk will. So it's you know what I mean? But
why did they when you look back on it, was the bad blood there, was there before, right? Or it's just all the
I don't really know. I don't know
all the
that.
things he's been saying since there was
But I really don't know what that beef really is. I know they have beef, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what Punk ever, because they were never like really in WWE at the same time. Like I think Rollins came up like when Punk was leaving. So I don't know. I really don't know what. But we were saying yesterday, like we were talking about all the guys Punk hasn't worked with. Like Punk never worked with AJ Styles. Like he's never worked with Cody. He's never really worked. Like he's worked with Randy,
Punk
but like
did not work with. Oh, right, because Cody was gone.
Cody was gone. Yeah, he's never really worked with. He worked with Randy, but like nothing really crazy. Like he never worked with Sami Zayn. He never worked with like I think he worked with Kevin Owens on the indie scene, but I mean I'm saying now
Roman.
he's never worked with Roman ever. So I mean it's a lot of stuff.
It's open season for Punk, but the question
Yeah.
is it really a 3-year contract, or do you think it's a free agent?
Well, he's gonna be on Raw no matter what. So I mean we'll see. That I'm sure if he's on Raw, he has a contract signed. You know what I mean? They already said he's gonna be on Raw.
Mel NYC, Michael, I was first introduced to CM Punk through Talking Dead show years ago. Okay, Mel, New York City Reviews. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for that. Interesting.
Vince McMahon had nothing and no idea CM Punk was returning.
Really?
That's what the reports are. CM Punk LA Knight would be a great feud.
Here's a great question from Miguel, and I want to talk to you about this. This drove me nuts. I was sure. My thought was last night in the men's War Games, Damian Priest is going to cash in. I thought this was it. I actually thought about it before it happened. Then it happened, was going to happen, and then Orton came out and she couldn't cash in. So Miguel asks, when will Priest cash in?
And I'll answer the question, but I was going to say this before. This is another person that I think gets kind of screwed with this whole situation, because obviously Damian is only going after the Raw title. And if Punk is on Raw feuding with Rollins, like, does anyone really care about the Money in the Bank anymore? You know what I mean? I think they lost their shot with that. I really did. I really do. When does he cash in?
I just literally thought last night, because I was thinking something big has to happen at this thing.
If he's not coming back.
I just think something big's got to happen.
My thing was that there's no way, if they're not bringing Punk back in Chicago, something else has to happen besides Orton coming back.
Right. I thought and I literally was going to text you, Luis. I was sitting here watching, going, "Oh, I bet he's going to cash in. I bet he's going to cash in." And then she came out, Rhea, with the Money in the Bank, and I'm like, "Oh, they're going to do it. Seth's going to lose."
Yeah.
Didn't happen. I honestly don't know what they're going to do with him.
I definitely think that they're. I don't know. Because my thing is that if Punk isn't involved with Rollins right now, then you can continue this and maybe have Damian cash in at Rumble or something.
Miguel
But
says maybe he goes for Gunther's title.
who, Damian?
They switch it up.
You think people would care though if he cashes in on a mid card title? Like they did it last time and people hated it with the whole Mysterio thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, what choice? I don't know. I don't.
I mean, they may be like, Damian, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but we've got Punk. We're putting you. You're gonna have to cash in here.
Because honestly, maybe because they just literally like hold this cash in for like a year and he cashes in like next year, like at like WrestleMania or something.
Has that ever happened? Have they held it for over a year?
You can hold it until next Money in the Bank. So I mean, they can just wait because they're gonna unless they just have they should just have them cash in.
I mean, I've never seen so many errant Money in the Bank. Like it never happened. It's been so many attempts that it got botched.
Yeah, no, like they do it every week now. But
okay, Miguel says it's the only way he sees it happening is him defeating Gunther without it not losing direction.
Yeah, because then they can have another title with the Judgment Day. That
David says Gunther's the best. The real is the best in the world.
But Gunther, I think, will lose it very soon because I think Gunther is going to have to go after the main. He needs to go after the main championship. So I mean,
I think they've got to get rid of Gunther in the IC. I mean, I think they need to move him up to go after Roman.
Yeah, like his run's been great. I love it, but I don't know how many guys left for him to go against. So I mean, they got to start working on that and figure out who they want to beat him.
You know, he's gone from. They haven't had him. Imperium, they don't have interference with him. He usually cleanly wins,
which is why I like it. Which is why, yeah. Right. And I was saying just another person that's coming back. They said that I saw yesterday that Lesnar will be back for the Rumble. So it's another person that they have.
Like, so this is how I see it. If they want to shut AEW down, there's just two ways to do it. MJF, you bring him over and you sign Sasha Banks and bring her back. Yeah. Like, I mean, because
like I said, I mean, well, yeah, because one of my last
Will Ospreay, Will Ospreay, who's
you think him too. He's like, oh,
AEW, he's probably like crap.
And like, I guess my last remark would be like, I truthfully, if MJF isn't signed right now, I definitely think he thinks about it a little bit more. And if you're AEW, you have to make sure he stays there. That's your last shot.
I think they've got him locked.
I would hope not. I really hope he's not that dumb to like see that I think he's on a sinking ship. I really do. You don't think MJF would rather be the third, fourth most popular guy on WWE than the number one guy on AEW? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think he could. I don't think with the airtime. Well, I shouldn't say that. They give Grayson Waller the Grayson Waller effect. They need to give, they need to give MJF a more, because he does everything. Like he gets to do singing and dance. He has to do everything over there. Vignettes. I don't see them. Will they do that for him at WWE? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited.
It was great. It was such a shocking ending. And people are like, I'm saying shocking. They're like, it's not shocking. We knew he was coming. No, we did not know he was coming.
We had no idea.
Now we know he was coming. It was absolutely shocking. So, all right, everybody. We'll be back. We will be back.
We should definitely try to get on here on Tuesday.
Let's
see what happens with Punk.
Let's see what happens with Punk.
Yeah.
Monday night. We'll be back on Tuesday. Come back to the Michael Fairman channel for the time. And then I guess our next pay-per-views are World's End for AEW, and then it isn't Royal Rumble.
We have Royal Rumble.
Oh wait, and they were saying there was something at Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you saw that. It's the first ever wrestling museum.
they're building a wrestling museum in Riyadh.
and it's like enormous, and it's like all the legit like stuff that they've used. Because people have been dying for a wrestling museum. Like everyone says, like, how do you not have one?
So I would not. I think we need to go, but we're not going to go right now while the war is going on.
Yeah, I think I'll take a little bit, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we have All World's End. Then we have to wait till Royal Rumble at the end of
we have
January.
2 months, 2 months till 2 months from tomorrow is Royal Rumble. So they have a good amount of time to
Got
build
a time to develop something, but they also need to make sure it's not boring leading up to it.
Yeah, because when you have this much time, the last like month going into it's like, oh my god. But I think with Punk here, I think and Oregon, I think they'll be all right.
And it'll be good. Then they go to Perth in February.
And then I think
February, and then they go to WrestleMania in Philadelphia in April.
at WrestleMania. Yeah, there's only two pay-per-views left.
So here's the deal.
By the way, that's insane because I feel like we were literally just at WrestleMania. Like I can't believe how fast that's gone by.
But to your point, the way they've got to book this is you've got to come out of you've got to start from Royal Rumble on is really their true stories into WrestleMania.
Uh-huh.
So they've got to have this mapped out soon now.
Yeah. And they're gonna figure it out.
Because I'm still trying to figure out how Cody is finishing the story. Is he just going up against Roman?
He's not gonna win the Rumble again. I hope not. You know what I mean?
David is saying Ryback returns for CM Punk.
You saw what he tweeted? He tweeted, I'll retire. And then he tweeted, it goes, just kidding. That was only if he returns to AEW.
I did.
But no, yeah, I agree. And they're gonna start mapping out now what they want their Mania matches to be. And I think this WrestleMania is going to be absolutely stacked.
This is going to be the big one. It's 40 and it's already insane. I do believe The Rock is coming back too.
And I heard that Cena is wants to work WrestleMania again, which I know it's
to do what? To lose or to
lose to freaking? He'll lose to like
anybody that wants
Santos Escobar.
Santos Escobar. That makes no sense. Anyways, all right. This is such an exciting time to be a wrestling fan, you guys. It's truly off the charts.
Like wrestling was like kind of dead a few years ago, and
I can't believe I literally have to tell you, I literally had problems watching episodes or watching PLEs. Yeah, I don't. Although I do think Raw goes on.
Like the last thing, like, did you even like when all the reports were happening? Did you really think there was any shot he showed up? Like, I thought there was just no way he would ever come back. Like, I still remember being like 17. I'm 21 now. At 17, I was like, damn, like I really want him to come back. And I was like, there's no way this guy's coming back. I used to see rumors like all the time, and it's just insane.
I had gotten to the point.
I was 12 years old when Punk last wrestled in the WWE.
Now wait, when you were 12, you were a super fan, right, of his?
I had everything.
Right. And can I ask you, why was Punk the guy?
I just loved him. I just like I loved everything. I loved everything he did. Like I loved his, like, his work on the mic and everything. His matches were great. Like I was at the WrestleMania that he fought the Undertaker, and I was like pissed when he lost. Like I wanted him.
I know. Yeah. It's like he wanted it. Yeah, it is insane. It's like this amazing time to be.
And I don't know if I ever told you.
And I wasn't that. For me, I kind of like had to compartmentalize this and put this kind of behind me. But now I'm so into it after how this has all been kind of reinvigorated, right?
And I don't know if I ever told you that his AJ Lee, his wife, is from my town. Like literally the town over. Like I live in one town, the town right next to me. AJ Lee went to she went to high school there. So it's pretty cool. Like,
what's happening with your girlfriend?
Who, Liv Morgan?
Liv Morgan. Is she back? Where is she?
I think she's still.
I saw her in the commercial.
Yeah, she's still hurt, but that's another one when she comes back. It's another star. Yeah,
she hasn't been on either.
I heard they want her to. They might have her against Rhea at WrestleMania.
Okay,
honestly, Liv will probably win the Rumble.
She's a great wrestler.
She'll probably win the Rumble. Now that I think about it,
I'm thinking she needs to come back. She had shoulder surgery, right?
Yeah, it's either her or
Jade.
Yeah.
But did you hear last night? They asked about Jade. She's not ready. They're not, this is the thing. I always told you from the beginning when I saw Jade in AEW, she wasn't a good wrestler.
And that's why I think they knew that, but they just got her now because they knew that it was smart to get her now and have her train under their stuff. I'm sure it's gonna come out and be great. So I mean, we'll definitely wait and see. I think she'll be in the Rumble though.
What did you think? I also thought Bianca got a nice pop when she came out last night.
She did, yeah.
It was like, oh, they did like her.
Chicago was great.
I thought they were amazing. And we were laughing, two last points. Weren't we laughing that Punk chants were coming out during the thing and they were muting it?
They were muting it right away. Yeah. It was like one chant and they were turning it down.
At that point, I'm like, oh my God, he's not even coming and they're cheering him.
Well, if you think about it, if the production company really didn't know, they were like, oh my God, we got to turn this down. Yeah.
Oh, no, I kind of feel they wouldn't turn it because wouldn't they, if they knew,
since they didn't know, they were like, oh my God.
Nobody in production knew.
Yeah, yeah.
So when did they tell production? They didn't know. But they had to put his music and his graphics.
Well, I'm sure they have that all like stocked. You know what I mean? Like already in the system. That's what they said. They said that Triple H literally was because he calls. He goes, all right, cut to camera one,
right.
To two, and we're going dark. Yeah. So they said that he literally went bring up the trademark logo, and then he goes hit CM Punk's music.
But CM Punk's music had to have been like in there. Like
I think they all are. I think every like thing they've ever had is in there.
I know. I was so excited. I was like, and this morning when I went on,
I've watched the video of him returning like 1,000 times.
I watched it 80,000 times. We're the ones, by the way, we're the ones that have made it 3 million because we're watching it. But when I posted on Instagram our show today, did you see? You didn't even check it out. I
didn't see. You posted. I didn't see it. Let's see. Oh, right there.
That's Phil.
Phil Brooks.
So I used the music and I changed the graphic from what I originally sent you.
Yeah, no, I originally when I saw it, I was like, I knew he's gonna change it. Yeah,
I had to change it. So you got to go like it because you're on it.
Yeah, I didn't see it until
it's on my Instagram this morning and on Facebook and X. But anyways, oh wait, Miguel's got a comment. Hold on. There was a video when you see a cameraman wave to Drew to go up the stage to change the angle of the other camera. Yeah, I saw that, but that still looks fake to me.
Yeah. I think that just shows that it's a work.
We're voting work.
The other one, Rollins, I'm not sure. Well, I guess on Monday it'll decide.
But I will say this: if this really isn't a work with Seth, this is a big problem. They cannot lose Seth for Punk.
Yeah, and I that's why I think that's why I'm playing devil's advocate. And I think that's the reason why I think it's not a work. I mean that it is a work.
All right.
But
I will talk to you probably Tuesday morning at some point live on here.
Well, Tuesday. You're going back. No, but that's fine. That works for me.
Like 11 a.m. works here.
Yeah. We could just set it up for that if you want.
We'll set it up probably 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, Tuesday morning on the 28th to come off of Raw.
Out from Raw.
So bring us your comments after the fallout from Raw and see what happens because it's got to be. Is Punk going to come out and just address everybody?
I think so. Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, so we're all going to go back to what we were doing. We're going to watch Punk's return, 250